What is going on, everybody? Welcome back, Dudes Who Bet Daily. Saturday, 11 a.m. college football kickoff today. I've already got some action, got some Navy +9, so I'm going to be sweating that as we go through this show here. That's first half, by the way. But we've got a full day here. We got some good stakes races at multiple tracks. We got Churchill. We got Aqueduct. The hoods are up. We got Churchill. No, I'm not going to do it. We got Churchill. We got Aqueduct. We got Del Mar. We got some NHL that Aaron wants to talk about. He specifically requested it before the show. NBA is not great tonight, but we got a ton of college football as well. So let's just jump right into it here with the college football action. Aaron, Papa Dude, you guys are, you call me a degenerate, yet you're driving 5 hours to go to an awful football game where I am betting the other side. I took Oklahoma State plus the 7. Am I crazy, Papa Dude?
Oh, absolutely not. I don't know why they're not favored. I don't understand it. First of all, it's not going to be a horrible game. That's the thing. It'll be a good game. The problem is, it doesn't matter. Nothing matters. And it's a 5-hour drive, which we've kind of cut that down to what, Aaron, about 4.5 now?
Yeah, shortcuts.
Yeah, they got some shortcuts. And by the way, I found another one last week, so
very good.
I like it. So anyway, it'll be a great game. And I'm not really worried about the cold too much. The wind's not supposed to blow, so that's good. It's just the drive, and it's a night game, and we're coming back.
I'm worried mostly about the team and how terrible we are. That's my worry. I could sit through the cold if we were good, but
yeah.
No, Somich, good bet, good pick.
Oh, it's a great pick.
You're getting points.
Do I sprinkle the money line? Can they lose?
Yes. Yes. What are they right now on the money line? Do you have that pulled up?
I can
plus 238.
Yeah, take Oklahoma State plus the 238.
Oh, I think so. Sure. Yeah,
Oklahoma defense is atrocious. Oklahoma State should move the football pretty easily. So it's whether or not Oklahoma can score, right? I mean, that's really going to come down to whether or not they cover the spread.
I think it's whether or not Oklahoma does two things: turn the ball over. They can't. That's been a killer for them. And can they punch it inside the red zone? They've had all kinds of trouble from the 20 to the 20. They move the ball with ease extremely well. When they get in the red zone, they have trouble, which is weird because they've ran the ball awfully well. That's the two keys to the game. Anytime you play Oklahoma, it's a given. The other team's going to score a ton of points, and they're going to be able to score when they want, and we're never going to stop them in a big situation on and on. But how Oklahoma can win the game tonight, if we're going to get serious for a second, don't turn it over, score inside the red zone. If they do those two things, I actually think they'll win. But I don't anticipate them doing those two things.
That's not going to happen.
Correct.
So.
All right, let's get away from serious magic. Give me a Rodney Dangerfield, no respect.
Hey, I don't no respect. I can't do it on command. Sorry.
That's what TCU
way
is
too
streaming
harsh
right now. They're only laying 2.5 on the road against Baylor after catching 7 in Texas. Is this the week, Aaron, that TCU loses?
2 weeks ago, I said it was. I said, hey, they're going to beat Texas. I am definitely playing TCU at Texas. I have no respect for Texas. But when we get it, that was like a Borat, no respect. But when we get into this game, this week now, after K-State just dismantles Baylor last week, I can't stick with that prediction. I mean, Baylor was at home. I thought, okay, they'll beat K-State. They'll get the momentum going, and then they're going to beat TCU this week. I don't know how you go with Baylor after what they showed last week. TCU, I mean, it's only -2 right now. I'll take the Horned Frogs again this week. I think they're going to get it done.
I can't expect them to let down at this point either because they just have 2 games left. It's Ohio State next week, then the championship game. None of these look aheads, nothing like that. So for me, it's tough to lean against TCU here, Papa Dude. I think they win today.
I can't go against them, and they're not going to let down. It's all on the line for them, and they've got to know they have to go undefeated. They have to. If they lose, forget it. They are out no matter what happens, unless some crazy other stuff goes on. And it's got to be a lot of crazy stuff. So the pressure might get them. That might get them. But the thing is, I'm just like with Aaron, holy cow. Baylor was awful last week. What happened? I didn't see any of it. What happened? I don't know. So it's hard to go with a team that scored 3 points last week. So
Magic, you're a Big Ten guy here, right? We got Minnesota and Iowa playing tonight. What do you think the total is in this game? Just give it a gander. Give it a guess.
15.5.
You're close. The lowest total in 50 years, 31.5 tonight between Iowa and Minnesota. 31.5. When you have 80s hung in the UCLA game, I would kind of lean
Take
the
the
under,
under.
which is crazy because absolutely nothing can go wrong for this game to hit under at 31.5. By the way, the first half total is higher in the USC-UCLA game. Papa Dude, what do you do with 31.5 here?
Golly, 31.5.
It's got to go over. It has to.
I don't
It's
know.
Iowa. Nothing has to happen.
Well, and Minnesota doesn't score much.
No,
You
they
know,
don't.
they're not explosive at all. They run the ball like crazy. I'm sure the weather will be somewhat of a factor as far as the cold.
No snow.
No snow. And they're used to the cold. Those two teams are. So they'll be all right if there's no wind and no snow. But I want to know who's going to win. Would you bet against Iowa? I wouldn't. These are the kind of games they win. But they're on the road, so I got to go with Minnesota.
Row the boat. Row the boat.
Yeah.
At 31.5 total, you can catch 3. I mean, that's a 10% of the total points scored that you can catch with the dog. I don't know how you don't take like that's like a 7-point total in 70. It's because the total is so low. The points are so much more valuable from an underdog perspective. I would take the points with Iowa.
Well, and the thing is, too, you've got a Minnesota team that chokes. They don't win these games. You got an Iowa team, they win these games all the time. Do you realize they might be in the Big Ten championship game?
If they win this game, they're going to get in it.
They have a legitimate chance to get in there. And you talk about a slaughter. I mean, they don't have a chance.
No, let me throw this out there. No touchdown is 20-1 in this game. Don't hate that.
Well, here's the deal. Papa Dude hit it on the head. You can kind of know what Iowa's going to do every game is pretty much the same. Minnesota is wildly sporadic. And when they get into these types of games specifically where it's like, okay, they're playing a team they should beat, they're at home. This would be a big win for them. They lose those games. They do it every year. They've done it this year. I hate to say it, but I would lean towards the points in Iowa in this game as well.
The thing is, too, about Iowa and your touchdown theory, every game they block a punt, they run an interception back, they pick up a fumble and score a touchdown. That's how they score.
Team in the history of the world. They get points like that every game.
Well, no, it's not luck.
It's luck.
Iowa defense plus 475 to score a touchdown.
What?
I actually looked at that one too. Iowa defense plus 475 for a touchdown in the game. I wouldn't be shocked if that was one that popped up.
That's funny.
All right, let's head out to the Pac-12 now. We've got the two marquee games of the day, both going down in the Pac-12. We'll leave the better one for last. We'll start with Utah at Oregon. Utah laying 2, and the total sitting at 60. I was surprised that Utah was the favorite here. I get Oregon kind of lost their season last week with the loss to Washington, but it just doesn't seem like they should be catching or laying points in Oregon. Aaron, you made a face when I said -2. What do you think?
See, I was shocked by this line. I thought it'd be the other way around for sure. I think what it is, Utah has had a lot of recent success against Oregon. They've really owned them the last couple of years, especially last year. However, I think Oregon wins this game. I think they're a lot better team than they were a year ago. I think they got a lot better coach than they did a year ago. I was shocked they lost last week. Just a horrific loss for them. I think they bounced back. We've watched Utah a lot. We've talked about Utah a lot. We like them. We don't love them. That's kind of the general consensus on this show. I think Oregon gets it done tonight. I'll take Oregon on the money line.
Yeah, interesting there with the defense really struggling last week, Magic. Oregon just could not stop Washington at all. Utah, probably the better defense in this side, but significantly worse offense. Do you have any opinion on this one?
I know that Oregon's lost to Utah twice last year, right? So I think that the players that are returning, they're going to have a lot of fire to come back, and especially what Aaron was saying for them to have lost like that last time. I know that the total's been falling a lot too. It's been going up. I'm sorry. It opened at 57.5, and I think I see 60.5 right now. So maybe some fireworks they're expecting in this a little bit of a shootout late.
Yeah, it looks like 27, no precipitation expected there for Eugene, Oregon. Should be a fun one. I like watching these late night Pac-12 games. A lot of fun atmospheres there. Place where the atmosphere is not so fun. Sorry, Dr. Tang is in UCLA. They got 100,000 seats there. They rarely fill, and a lot of them will be filled with red tonight. You got USC heading into UCLA. Another one, Papa Dude, I was surprised to the line was so short. USC -2 against number 16 UCLA. Total set is 76.5 right now. Papa Dude, Battle of LA, who you got?
I'm figuring you think that USC should be favored by more, correct? I'm with you. I do too. I think they're better than UCLA. They traditionally win this game. You know, over the years, they've won more than UCLA has in recent history. The Bruins got them last year for the first time in a while, I think. I'm not that impressed with UCLA defensively. I know USC isn't very good either, but I think USC is a little bit better. I just think they're a better team. If I was going to bet this one, I saw it while ago. I believe it's 1.5 now, or is it 2?
It's back up to 2.
Back up to 2.
Yeah.
I would take USC and take my chances in this one. I think they'll pull away late and win it. I'm pulling for UCLA, that's for sure. But I hope. I think USC will get them. And I don't know. Probably I'm looking like 42-35, something like that.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if this one heads over the total, even if it's so big, Aaron. You got two offenses that want to score, going to throw the ball quite a bit, and have explosive playmakers. So, any interest in that 76.5? Would you lean toward the over, even though it's such a big total?
Yeah, I've watched Lincoln Riley for years. This is going over. I can almost promise you that. They're going to score. USC is going to score a lot. But if you've watched USC the last few weeks, their defense is getting worse every game. And that's another Lincoln Riley trend for a coach team to start the year. Every year we go, man, this defense is better. And then we get the 8th or 9th game. It's like, well, we have to score 50 to win. It feels like that's happening again with USC. That gives UCLA a chance. Another thing that gives UCLA a chance, USC's major best running back, the big transfer that came in there, he is out. He got hurt. He's out for the year. That's going to be a big factor. They were really running the ball well. He was having a great season. So now, again, they probably got, their backup will come in and be fine against the UCLA defense. It's not great either. It's going to be a shootout, and it's a pretty similar situation I talked about with the OU-OSU game. Who turns the ball over the most? Who can score touchdowns in the red zone the most? That's who's going to win this game. I'll lean USC. Both quarterbacks are good. I think Caleb Williams is a little bit better, so I'm going to go USC in this spot. But yes, I would go over that total, Somich.
Magic, any interest in the game?
UCLA. I hate USC. This town is this town gets so damn annoying. Talking about LA, when USC has a team that's even halfway decent, and just being a big supporter of the Halterman clan. We really hate what happened in Oklahoma the last couple of years. Still supporting you guys. I'm going with UCLA on the money line. Let's go, Dr. Tang.
There we go. Dr. Tang chiming in here, saying his bets today, Iowa State and Baylor today. So he is going to go against the TCU train there. Wow. Rob N chiming in, saying he's going to take Kansas, getting the 9 against Texas. This one's – is Jaden Daniels playing? Do we know?
It doesn't matter.
I don't know.
Kansas owns Texas.
I heard I heard a little birdie told me he's going to be back for this game. If he's back, that 9 is a good number.
So I've heard that for 2 weeks, though. That's the only thing.
The person who told me is usually right. We'll put it that way.
Well, they're going to beat Texas tonight. Then take Kansas on the money line.
So we'll see if he plays. If I can see him confirmed to play, I think 9 is a gift there in that game as well. All right, let's go to the race. Well. Actually, let's see here. NBA, I bet one game tonight. I bet the Timberwolves -3 at the 76ers. Anyone else bet a game in the NBA, or everyone passing it?
Pass.
All right, cool.
Pass.
We'll skip right by there since we're already pretty deep here. NHL slate, nothing jumped out at me as a top-tier game. You got the Penguins heading into the Jets, and you got the Hurricanes going into the Wild. Aaron, you bet any hockey tonight? Got the Blues just staying on the bandwagon, the worst team in hockey.
-1.5 goals. We're plus money tonight. -1.5 goals for plus 107. Bennington back in the net tonight after Greece played fantastic in the last game. But now we got Bennington back. The Ducks are the worst team in the NHL. The Blues are the hottest team in the NHL. Take that plus money on that.
Who is it? The Ducks that have yet to win a game in regulation?
I
thought you were playing.
I think they've won Maybe one in regulation.
Anyway, there's a team struggle. I think it is the Ducks. Yeah, the -1.5 plus money is not bad, but bad pick. Ducks big. I'm gonna do that every time.
Good. I told y'all. Y'all are done. You're not getting back on the bandwagon. I told y'all it ain't happening.
Here's the problem.
There's no problem.
Know the Blues lose these kind of games.
No,
they have a perfect opportunity. They got Anaheim tonight and Anaheim Monday night in St. Louis. Get these two, and you are right back in the hunt.
Ducks minus the goal and a half.
You what?
Ducks minus the goal and a half.
No, easy wins. They're going to be back. They're going to be the 7th win in a row after Monday. Just wait. But the bandwagon is locked. You guys aren't back in.
Yeah.
All right, let's head to the race of the day here. We're going to go to Churchill, race number 10, the Saluki. Actually, it's Chaluki, but I just think it's Salukis every time. Stakes. It's an interesting spot. We've got a horse that I'm pretty sure Aaron is going to pick. I didn't watch his preview. I'm not going to lie. Out of the Brad Cox barn, the one-horse Coach coming in here. But there are a host of competitors. Pretty contentious race for just 7, including She Can't Sing, who I have no clue why this horse even showed up for this race. We'll start with you, Magic. Who do you like here in the Chaluki Stakes?
Man, I don't want to. I was with Aaron. I like the rail horse Coach coming back for Brad Cox. She's cutting back to a 1-turn mile, and the stakes last out at Laurel Park. It was in the slop. She is, she's never finished outside the exacta in the slop, but I think cutting back to the mile is going to be great for her. She won the Pippin Stakes at Oaklawn Park earlier this year. Battle Blink beat her in the Laurel Park Stakes and came back to win again. So it's not an ultra sexy pick because she is the 9-5 favorite, and I think the 3 horses out of this race. So should be a lot lower than that, but I don't know. Aaron, why did you like Coach here?
Well, I think this is the spot for Coach, right? I mean, we kind of saw it last year in races kind of of this caliber. She was very tough. She was also very tough at a mile. So a couple of really nice things there. Got to knock the rust off last time out at Laurel. Got beat by Battle Bling, who's a pretty good horse on that Laurel Park circuit or the Maryland circuit, so to speak. So I think Coach is in a real good spot to get it done today. It's a 2-horse race, in my opinion. I don't think you need to go any deeper than the first 2 horses, the 1 Coach and the 2 Mariah's Princess. You talked about Coach well enough. I don't need to expand on that. I will talk about Mariah's Princess here for a second, who I've got in second. And like I said, it's the other horse I'm going to use. Same situation. The horse is coming second off the layoff, knocked the rust off last time out at Keeneland in a tough allowance race. That was her first race in almost a year. Now we're back here. I feel really good about this spot for her. 2 races back, she won a stakes at Oaklawn Park as well. So I really think it's going to be a battle between the 1 and the 2 horse in this race, in this race.
Yeah, I have Maria's Princess on top, but the scratch of the 3 Center Isle makes a big difference here because Center Isle was going to cause Coach some trouble because Center Isle could have cleared over on Coach, forced Coach back to the outside, really set up the trip worse. I really like that race last time out for Maria's Princess, where she just got tired down the lane. She hadn't run since 2021, so it's been a long layoff there, going a mile and 16th. Now we're shortening up to a mile, second off a layoff, late in the 4-year-old season. I think she takes a monster step forward. With Center Isle, I had her on top as a single. I may go 2 deep 1-2 now without Center Isle in there because I'm worried about lone speed from Coach, but I think Center Isle has a shot to improve big time here. Papa Dude, who'd you like in the Churchill 10?
Well, I'm a Coach, so I'm going with Coach all the way. That's all. It's Magic pick Coach. I got to go.
All right, we got 3 coaches and 1 Mariah's Princess there for Churchill race 10. The only graded stakes of a Saturday card, although there is good action from both Aqueduct and from Del Mar. All right, let's go to the best bets here. We'll start out with the Magic Man taking his home state, laying the wood here.
Yeah, this is the closest I could find to blue and gold, or not really a big Michigan fan, more Michigan State. But I will say I looked at this game and looked at the recent trends. Did you guys know that Michigan in their last 5 games has allowed a total of 3 second-half points? And it was to Penn State, who was number 10 in the nation. That's 4 times they completely blanked the other team in the second half. I wanted to make my best bet the second half Michigan. I don't know what the total is. Just bet it because they're also outscoring teams by 117 points in the second half. But because of that, I think that what Michigan does is they'll keep it close early. You've got a very cold, it's supposed to be 22 degrees in Ann Arbor. It's outside snow. It's the week before Ohio State, and this team is incredible. So the fans are going to be absolutely rocking the big house. I think the second half, Illinois is just going to be beat down. They've lost their last 2 as the favorite. Now they're in a really adversarial stadium here to try and get the win. So I'm going to go with Michigan to pull ahead late. I'm telling you, if the first half is close, Don't sweat it. Bet Michigan second half and be confident in the 17 points.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a weather game. Total 41.5 in here, so Michigan's going to have to hold them down. Illinois has a top-tier running back, probably one of the I think probably going to be the first pick and running back picked in the draft this year. But Michigan's rush defense, absolutely solid too. So it'll be interesting to see what they're able to do with DeVito, the Syracuse transfer there, coming in on the offensive side of the ball. All right, Papa Dude, you're taking a really, really dog with fleas here, and I kind of like it. So tell us about UConn 10.
Well, first of all, I really like Magic's pick because I don't know that Illinois can score much at all. And I think they'll have to throw it a little bit to move it, and there may be some interceptions involved there. And I'm thinking 31-3, something like that, maybe. I can't see Illinois scoring more than 10, 14 points in this game. And Michigan's going to pull away from them, I think. Yes, no one talks about UConn. This was one of the worst programs for the last 4 or 5 years?
Yeah,
and they very quietly are 6-4. That's a great turnaround for them. And Jim Mora is the coach up there, NFL guy, come out of nowhere. When they hired him, everyone goes, what in the world, including me? And he's got up there, and they're 6-4, and they're coming off a great win over Liberty last week. They've also beat Fresno State, which is a good team. They've won some games here lately. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and they go to Army today. Now, the problem is, will they be ready to play after clinching a bowl berth for the first time in a decade? They'll be in a bowl game, coming off a big win over Liberty. Will they be ready to play in West Point today? That's the key. I think they're 10 points better. I really do. They played Army last year, so they know how to prepare for the option game. Army cannot throw the ball. If UConn doesn't turn it over, if they play well, this line doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I think they should be favored. I mean, Army's not that good, and they have trouble scoring. So I like UConn plus 10 today.
Yeah, the service academies in games where it's lined double digits is always interesting to me because the number of possessions you're getting in those games is significantly less than what you would normally expect. One of the reasons I played Navy this morning plus 9 first half, you're probably going to get 6 possessions in the first half. That's it, because Navy took the ball right down the field and scored a touchdown on the first drive, but took 7 minutes off the clock doing so.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're not going to get – it's so hard to cover 9 points and a half when the other team's going to have the ball for at least half of that time. So in this case, it's the exact same thing. When you're taking the dog here at plus 10, Army's going to grind the clock. They're not going to score fast. They're not a quick strike offense. So taking this large of a points often pays off in that scenario. All right, I'll head to my best bet here. I'm going to go to Aqueduct race number 8. I'm going to take the 3 horse who's sitting at 3-1 on the morning line. I almost played a double here because I think you could probably use the 8 in the previous race, Sturdy on, to play into this 3. But this is a situation where Abundant Honor is just getting back to the correct spot. If you go back and look at this horse's races, ran in a maiden special weights, faced Scalding and Gasoline, 2 very good horses, drops down to maiden 40 and looks dominant going a mile. We step up to a $50,000 optional allowance going a mile and 1/8 again. So we're going too far and we're facing horses that are too good. Still runs a good 4th. Now we're dropping in for a $25K tag, going into a mile again. You've got other speed. You've got speed in this race. You're set up well for the 3 horse to come from right off the pace. I love this 3-1 price. I'm not sure we get it when the race kicks off. I'm expecting closer to 2-1, but I think the 3 horse is a significant standout here in the 8th race at Aqueduct, Abundant Honor. Aaron, who'd you have here?
Yeah, I used that horse, but I'm surprised you went to this race because I thought it was pretty wide open. I think there's a lot of horses that kind of fit that. We're dropping back to the class we need to be in. I liked the 2 a little bit. I like the 9 just a little bit as well, but I did use the 3. I definitely think the horse fits. I think the big key is, can we get the trip that we got 2 races back? Can we sit that stalking pace, have a couple of horses going at it up front, and then kind of get the jump on them? I love the cut back to a mile too. I think that's going to be a big time key for the 3. So yeah, I can't argue with it. I think the horse has a big time shot. I just think it is a kind of a tougher race, and I do think you're going to get. I don't know if you're going to get every bit of 3-1, but you're going to get close to it because this is a pretty evenly matched race, in my opinion.
I'm hoping for 2-1, 5-2 range. I think that's a fair price on the horse.
I agree.
I would have the horse just below 2-1 on my fair odds. So I'm hoping to get around 5-2. We'll see what happens. All right. And you're also going to horse racing. You're headed to the Desi Arnaz over at Del Mar. It's an interesting spot. You got a couple Bafferts in here, and you're going to take the assistant anyway. Tell us about the 6 horse.
Yeah, my mouth's kind of watering about this because I kind of think we got a good one here. I really like number 6, Blessed Touch, in this spot. You look at the race last time out. If she runs that, it's over.
Yeah.
And like you said, you got 2 Bafferts in here that I don't think are great. And you've got Justique, who I think is an okay horse, but very, very overrated as far as how she gets bet. I think a lot of people get mad when I say that about horses. It's not me saying that horse sucks. It's me saying that horse is not worth betting at a short price, right? And I think a lot of people in our comments get very confused about that. But that's all it is. If the horse was 6-1 today, maybe I'd like her a little bit, but I don't like her at 8-5. Blessed Touch last time out, the 6 horse at Santa Anita, ran a race so much better than what anybody else has run in the spot. Now, did get loose on the lead, and so sometimes you do see those inflated numbers when a horse gets loose on the lead. Fellas, tell me, how is she not going to be loose on the lead again today? That's the big key to me. When I looked at the pace situation, I thought, well, she might get an identical trip. If she does, she's absolutely gone. I don't think she's going to be the favorite because of Justique, and those Bafferts will take money. So even if she is the favorite, I think we're getting close to this number. I really like the 6 Blessed Touch in the spot.
You're not under even money. I'll give you that. I think you might get around 6-5, 7-5, somewhere in that range, which I don't think is bad at all. There's a couple of weird things I want to talk about in this one. First off, the pace pressure. This is the shitty part about horse racing every now and then. The 7 horse Daddy Classy Dill is coming out of 1,000-yard races at Los Alamitos. That's probably your pace pressure. And no chance at winning, 30-1 on paper, but that is the horse that could press the 6 and cause some issues. Now, I don't know if she's fast enough. I actually don't think she is fast enough, but she's the only one in there that could really cause trouble. Magic, I want to kick it to you real quick and talk about the 2 horse in this spot, because I thought Parody was a little bit interesting, not as a win candidate, but just talk about Brissett to Baffert. How often does that happen? Usually it's the other way around.
Usually it is the other way around. Yeah, and Aaron did a great job on the previews. Why you got to watch the previews, not just for the picks, but Aaron gave great insight. If you didn't know, Windstar and the Avengers, Saul Cumin and all those big wig people, they buy millions and millions, $20-30 million worth of horses at every single big auction. And then the good ones go to Baffert, and then the bad ones, or the ones that aren't ready yet, I should say, go to Rudy Brissett. Brissett to Baffert has happened before, not necessarily with a horse that has started, but if you remember, the Triple Crown winner Justify was one of those horses where they had him and they were like, he's good. Send him to Brissett for a while. Brissett got him broken in, got him ready to go to the races, and then they sent him to Baffert. And as Brissett said, he went through the Baffert program and became a Triple Crown winner. Not saying Parody is of a Triple Crown quality, but like you were where you were going with this, Mike, for her to debut at Churchill for Rudy Brissett, and Windstar, who bred this horse, say, oh, wait, no, we need to go out west with this horse to Bob Baffert. And for Baffert to actually accept it and put it in a stakes race like this, it says a lot about the horse's chances. I think if you want to play a 6-2 straight exacta, I think that's a really good way to make some money here.
It's an interesting move from a barn perspective there, Aaron. I love the breakdown from Magic there, too, talking about other horses that have done it, too. Justique cutting back. I know you mentioned you don't really like Justique here. Do you think the cutback helps Justique at all? She got way overbet going to mile 16. She's going to get overbet again today. You don't have the race on paper that wins it, but are you worried about her on the cutback?
No. I said it on the preview. I said if she beats me, fine. But we got very, very overhyped in a race that completely fell apart on debut. So much overhyped that we were a favorite in a race we should have never been the favorite in, going 2 turns, which actually should help the horse. When you look at the way she runs, you look at her pedigree, 2 turns actually should have moved her up. She ran pretty much the same race that she ran the first time. Now we're back in this spot. Now, look, if it falls apart up front, she's going to be the one to come get him. But again, I'm going to take a stand against her again, just like I did last time. And if she wins, you just tip the hat and say, good job, you improved many links, because that's what I feel like. I feel like she's 3 to 4 links slower than the top horses in this race. Again, and a lot of people get, why you hate Justique? No, I just don't like her at the price she's going to be. So again, I don't think she's, cutting back in distance. That doesn't really scare me. if she wins, she wins. I'll just tip my hat to her. But yeah, I don't feel like, I just don't feel like she's worth a bet. Magic made a good point, and you talk about parity. That is the Baffert I'm worried about the most, because that is a big sign that basically what happens is the farm managers that have these horses when they're babies, when they're 1-year-old coming to 2-year-old, they make the decision on where they go, right? And sometimes they just make a mistake. And that's kind of what, happened here. Horse probably should have went to Baffert, but maybe she wasn't showing a lot of talent. They said, I'll give her to Brissett. We'll see what he can do with her. And then she wins, and it's like, oh, shit. Pick him to Baffert. Sucks for Rudolph, but, that is the way it goes.
Yeah, the cutback horse, I'm interested in the other Baffert. Practical Joke going 2 turns versus going 1 turn, very different horses. So I wouldn't be shocked if this is the 7 over the 2 Bafferts in a try. So play the 7-2-4-2-4, because Hunting Coco is bred for 1 turn, not 2, and went 2 last time, and it showed that was not her better distance. Yeah. All right, thank you very much, everybody, for joining us. We're already at half hour. We're supposed to be 20 minutes, so we're going a little long here on a college football Saturday. We'll be back tomorrow on an NFL Sunday, the original time, so noon Eastern there for best bets around the NFL and horse racing. Let's take a look at the peaks here. Been an atrocious week. We got Papa Dude taking UConn plus the 10. We've got Aaron headed to Del Mar, race 6, number 6 going 9-5. Magic, Michigan minus the 17. I'm going to go to Aqueduct, race number 8, horse number 3. 1-8 for the week, down 820. Not good. For the year, up $359. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining us. We will see you all tomorrow. Have a good one.